What's up, guys? Welcome to Daily Dose of Reddit. This is your host, Zach, and today's subreddit is r/IDontWorkHereLady. Okay, this story's called Moronic Karen Tells Me, a White Woman, to Go Back to Mexico. Y'all, it finally happened to me. Never thought it would, but today it happened. And I have finally stopped shaking long enough to tell it. Alright, here's the cast. There's me, obviously. Rude lady, or perhaps racist lady. Store employee. Awesome customer. So after work today, I went to my local grocery store because I was out of both waffles and garlic salt, which are both essential to my continued existence in this dystopian hellscape of a country. Now, yes, I just got off work, but my job is extremely casual. I wear jeans and a t-shirt daily. Today, that t-shirt was navy in color with a dinosaur in the middle of a meteor shower trying not to cry with the caption, "I'm doing my best," on it. All this to say, I should never be mistaken for an employee anywhere. Now, they rearranged the spice aisle for some goddamn reason, so I was trying to hunt down the cheap garlic salt, 89 cents versus over $3, so I was determined to find it. Jamming out to Hamilton, my purse across my body, very clearly a customer, when this absolute bimbo rams me with her cart. It wasn't super hard, and I only stumbled a bit, but what the hell, lady? I turned to look, and there she is. 60s, brown hair Karen with bad highlights, oversized knockoff purse, huge sunglasses on top of her head, and a stunningly ironic Trump 2020 face mask on. I pull out one earbud. Can I help you? I was born and raised in the Midwest. I am polite to a fault. In a snooty, condescending voice, "Shouldn't you not have those on while you're working?" Excuse me? I am both baffled and have a bit of social anxiety, so this confrontation is really weirding me out.
You freaking millennials.
I legit stuff like this was only said on TV or by the traffic cone in chief.
So rude and lazy. Stop wandering and help me find soap and some laundry detergent and some chips and some tomatoes and radishes and some cucumbers and cereal and cream of wheat and some pie crusts and some soap. And I like a lot of soap, so more soap. And I like soap, so soap. And laundry detergent as well. I like laundry detergent. Soap.
Now, I have a little bit of an auditory processing problem. Not enough to hinder me in day-to-day life, but basically, I have great hearing. I can hear just fine. But it'll sometimes take me a second or two to process what I heard, especially when I'm stressed out or distracted. I'll say, "What?" and like halfway through you repeating yourself, it'll click in my head and I'll cut you off, kind of thing. Normally, to combat this, I tend to just read people's lips because my eyes work faster than my ears. But, Brovid happened, so no visual crutch for me. I could have helped. I know that store like the back of my hand. And I'm overly accommodating when flustered. I just needed her to slow down a bit. Also, keep in mind for the rest of this, I tend to respond a beat or two after she finishes speaking. "I'm sorry, I can't—"
Did you just interrupt me?
Now freaking out because she's drawing attention to this, and holy crap, do I want to melt into the floor? I'm sorry, I just didn't understand.
Oh my God! Why don't you just go back to Mexico? Then, if you don't understand English.
I was just utterly freaking baffled at that point. Not because of that astounding display of moronic and hypocritical racism. It's Indiana. I'm kinda desensitized to it at this point. Oh no, that's too easy. You see, dear reader and listener, not only have I obviously been speaking perfect, unaccented English for this whole encounter, Not only have I hardly spoken a word of Spanish since college, not only was I actually born in Michigan, but I am literally so painfully white. I'm talking naturally blonde hair, blue eyes, horrifically pale skin kinda white. I got none of the good Italian genes, just the dark as fornicles circles under my eyes that no amount of sleep can cure. I wasn't even in the international food aisle. How in the flippity-doo-dah did this dumb bimbo they mean I was Mexican still utterly astounds me. And it probably always will. If I didn't understand her before, I understand her less now. Literally unable to turn off being polite. Ma'am, please leave me alone.
How dare you talk to customers like that? Where is your manager?
Shaking and feeling tears well up because I really don't like being yelled at. Please stop yelling.
Don't talk back to me, you little B-word. I'm a lady. I don't say that. I'm just kidding.
Okay, no, I'm just kidding.
Get me a manager. Manager comprendo, you stupid.
Racial slur for Mexicans. Now, again, reader, I am crazy white. Just so white. So white that I actually looked behind me just to make sure this insanity was actually directed at me. But you remember how I said I was desensitized to the racism at this point? Yeah, not that desensitized apparently. I'm now getting angry, but still too damn polite for my own good. Ma'am, that's really offensive. Could you not say crap like that and just leave me?
How dare you curse at me, you little whore!
How am I a whore in this scenario? Lord knows. So a fun thing I learned about myself today is that while my fight or flight responses still freeze, apparently my social anxiety has a temporary rage override. Oh dear Lord.
Get your filthy hands off of me and step the frick back, you racist hillbilly
Fruck. I yank my arm back and she actually lets go, looking at me, just stunned.
You don't get to just freaking grab people whenever you want, you entitled piece of poo! Especially not in a pandemic! Now back off! I don't even freaking work here!
At this point, we've drawn a reasonable crowd, and an actual employee rushes over and steps a little between us. What seems to be the problem? Racist lady straightening up and glaring again.
Your coworker cursed me out and shoved me when I just wanted some help finding things on my list.
Y'all, was this woman serious? Did she think no one else heard her screeching? Store employee glances at me for literally 1 second. Yeah, she doesn't work here.
Of course she does. She has an ID badge.
She points at my purse, and I look down to see that my work ID had indeed come out of my purse. I keep it on a bungee. But it clearly states the chemical company I work for in large, bold green letters. The store colors are red and black. Ma'am, I'm gonna need you to lower your voice and calm down, or I'll have to ask you to leave. Our employees don't have ID badges like that. She doesn't work here.
Well, she still assaulted me and I want to press charges.
Now at this point, my temporary rage override is fading and I'm shaking, trying not to cry, and on the verge of a panic attack again. I literally cannot speak to defend myself. And then, my hero. This awesome dude, another shopper, who'd come into the aisle sometime during the racist rude ladies tirade, looked about my dad's age, mid-50s. That's not true. That crazy lady grabbed this poor girl's arm. This young lady never touched her. After hearing him speak up, others in the crowd chimed in to my defense. Rudest lady shrunk down, realizing that no one was on her side. Store employee turned to me. Ma'am, do you want to press charges? I already regret this, but I shook my head. I couldn't speak at that point. I just desperately wanted to go home and get away from this lady. And all of those eyes. Store employee nodded in agreement just as the store manager came over. You can go. I'll handle things with my manager. Sticking to her guns for some ungodly reason.
You're letting her go? Didn't you hear me? She attacked me. I want her arrested and deported back to Mexico. I can't speak because I'm a bad person. Ah!
Lady, are you sick in the head? She has blonde hair and blue eyes. She's not Mexican. And even if she was, you assaulted her. After another assurance from store employee and the manager, I just scurried out of that place without my garlic salt or my waffles. Had a lovely panic attack in my car, drove home once I felt safe enough to do so, and here I am. Only shaking a little bit and starting to realize how kind of freaking hilarious that all was. I'll go back for the waffles and the garlic salt tomorrow. For tonight, I need a freaking drink. Edit 1. I know I didn't articulate this very well when I wrote it, but a user down below did, so now that it's the next morning, I'd like to clarify. I am well aware that there are blonde-haired, blue-eyed Mexican people, but in my experience, racist white ladies either don't know or don't acknowledge this and operate based on the stereotype. So that's where my complete and utter shock was coming from. I'll be going back to that store after work, and anxiety permitting, I'll try and track down a manager and see if I can't get some video footage to press charges with. It might be too late, but I'll see what can be done. Edit 2. So I took some of your guys' advice and did the police report first before heading back to the store. I had a cop come with me to request the security tapes. The same store manager and employee were there, so I got to thank them properly, which was great, and I got to learn what happened after I left. Apparently, the woman kept screeching and making enough of a scene that the manager finally banned her from the store. They got her picture, but not her information, so I don't know how that's gonna go for me. I am also told that the awesome customer from last night and a couple others had left their info with the manager just in case I did indeed come back with the cops, which restored my faith in humanity a bit. The cops are gonna do their thing, and they'll let me know if they need anything else from me and if they find her at all. Meanwhile, the employee from last night helped me find my cheap garlic salt, and I splurged and got myself 2 boxes of waffles and a pint of ice cream like an absolute madwoman. Today has definitely been a lot better. Thank you guys so much for your support. Okay, I'm really glad that they acknowledged that some Mexican people do indeed have blonde hair and blue eyes. And anyway, this story absolutely bonkers. That rudest lady, what's her deal, man? Why she gotta be so rudest? And AOP, you're Italian. That's badass. I think Italian people are so cool in Italian stuff. In fact, the one flag I personally own is an Italian flag, so how about that? Alright, this story's called I'm the Owner, He is My Son! Hey there! This is my first ever post. In a way, this post might fit better in the r/IDoWorkHere section, but it might not as well. Quick intro. This was a funny story that had happened to me a few years ago. My parents are one of the founders of Resort and are chairman of the board of directors. I've sat in a few of the meetings, so everyone knows that I'm the boss's son. I got homeschooled, so the majority of my friends are basically senior staffs and people on the board. Pretty sad, huh? Here's the cast. Me, Noah. Real quick, I look a lot younger than my age, and being 5'7" doesn't help. Dad and mom, fiance, or Julia, sister Emma, manager Jack, crazy lady Karen. I'll do the voices later. I don't know who's gonna show up. I was on vacation with my fiance Julia and my sister Emma. I, Julia, and Emma were staying at my dad's resort for a week or two because we were visiting my mother. As we entered the resort, I noticed the parking lot was packed. It was midsummer, duh, and saw a few cars roaming around looking for parking spots. My family has a few private parking spots, and I noticed that his car wasn't there, but my mother's car was. As I walked to the reception, most of the staff know who I am, one of the staff working saw me and walked over to greet me. There were quite a few people in line waiting to check in.
Ma'am, Mom is currently in a meeting. Would you like me to bring your luggage to your room?
Yeah, thanks. Julia kept a bag that had our swim clothes in it. Sometime later, after a bit of swimming, we went to the restaurant to eat lunch. I'd put on a blue shirt and was still in my gray swim trunks. The clothing looked similar to the uniform that the waiters were wearing. They were almost identical, except the only difference was that it didn't have the word staff on it. This will come in handy later. While we were chatting in the restaurant, I heard some lady say,
"Hey, you!"
rather rudely from somewhere behind me. I first thought it was just someone trying to get the attention of a waiter, so I continued chatting and eating with Julia and Emma. As I was chugging down some ginger ale after regretting trying my sister-in-law's food, which she purposely did not tell me was pretty spicy, she knows I don't handle spicy food well and probably never will. Can anyone else relate? Nobody. Someone suddenly roughly grabbed my shoulder from behind and I almost choked on my soda, spitting it all over my sister. Straight up karma, I gotta say. Ha ha!
Ew, gross!
Was Emma's response while my fiancé stood straight up and was about to ask me if I was alright, but here comes you know who, Karen, interrupting my sweet fiancé.
Babe, are you— Hey, I've been trying to get your attention for a while now!
Karen yelled out. Me being someone who doesn't get mad that easily, looked up and asked her politely, "Do you need anything, ma'am?"
Why are you eating with the guests and not doing your stupid job?
Karen said. I caught on pretty quickly and knew that she thought I was a staff from what I was wearing. But I was getting a little annoyed from how much she was yelling at me while she was a foot away from me. "Ma'am, I don't work." I tried saying.
Shut up! I am a VIP here!
Karen continued yelling. I continued to talk calmly to Miss Loudmouth while raising my voice a little. "Excuse me, I don't work here."
Don't you use that tone with me, brat!
As she slapped me, her long nails cut into my cheek, leaving a long cut and started bleeding. My fiancé almost went pale seeing as blood started to drip off my face. My sister immediately started to call our mother to come. The manager was walking over when he heard Karen yelling, but then broke into a run and hurried over when he saw Karen slapped me.
Ma'am, Noah, you alright?
Jack had said. Jack was someone who has worked for the resort for a few years, so he was pretty casual with me. My fiancé had put a piece of napkin on my cheek to try to stop the bleeding.
Are you the manager? I want this staff fired. He is unprofessional. I don't know why you hired an idiot.
Karen pointed at me and spoke as if she was the owner.
Ma'am, he doesn't work here,
Jack started explaining.
You're trying to cover him? I want you fired as well.
I never knew someone's face could get as red as a tomato until today. I saw my mother running over with 2 security guards when she saw my fiancé holding a blood-red napkin against my face and Karen yelling at me. I thought she was going to explode as she rushed over to me. My sister had informed our mother about what was happening and what Karen had done. My mother almost yelled.
What on earth happened? Guards, arrest her! What do you mean arrest me? Who are you to do that?
Karen was struggling in the guard's hands.
I am the owner. You dare to slap my son?
My God, the face Karen made when she heard those lines. I won't ever forget. She was as white as snow while her eyes and mouth were wide open. As she was taken away, some of the other customers started clapping. My mother ran up to see my face. She spoiled me when I was younger and was always defensive of me as if she was a mother protecting her cub. I mean, she is, low-key. She was the one who had made me do homeschooling after she was told I was getting bullied in primary and middle school. After we had taken care of the cut on my face, which I ended up needing needing stitches for. No worries, the scar faded. My mother told me that Karen had been charged with second-degree assault and will be spending the following month in jail. Damn, that could have been a badass scar if it didn't fade. I think face scars are cool. Especially if there's a cool story behind them. Like, if I were to get in a fight with the bear and it clawed my face, but somehow its claws didn't take my entire face off and it just left some cool looking scars, that'd be pretty cool. And if I also survived, that has to be like priority number one. I would do a lot of crazy stuff if I knew I would survive in the end. Like, as long as I know I won't take permanent damage, I will do anything. But anyway, that Karen was crazy, and if she goes straight to assaulting someone out of nowhere, then she needs off the streets and into like a mental facility, potentially.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to never miss an episode.